Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a good couple of, well, I guess weekend. Good weekend. Um, yeah, I'm pretty, I don't know, tired, but I'm all right. Hopefully, this will be a low stress. Well, I know it won't be a low stress night, but um, I am kind of out of my element with the MiSTer. Not really my, I've had one for a few years, but I don't use it that often where I would consider myself even like a power user, somebody who uses it a lot. So, hey Chungo. So yeah, I did happen to update uh, everything. I think we'll find out, including the N64 core. So we can mess with that. Like I said, I don't know. I should start like, well, I think I actually have done this in the past. I'm not an expert. I would not even. This is not a review either, right? So this is not a scientific thing. We're not measuring anything. Well, actually, we are. We will be eventually measuring something. I have a Mr. Laggy finally. Um, so I don't really know how to use it that well, but it is I'm finally glad that I have a tool that can measure sort of end-to-end latency. So that would be, there's a MiSTer core that drives this, and it sends a flash, kind of like the time sleuth. So it sends some flashing bars to the screen, and you use this. I guess it's some kind of a light sensor or something, and so it can detect when the light flickers on the screen. We'll go into it in more detail later, but long story short, you can use it to tell, throughout your whole chain. So for example, my setup is MiSTer going into the Extron DXP, going into capture cards, bypassing the capture cards, going to a HDMI switch, and then that is going to the TV. So that's a lot of devices in the chain. So that's like the whole thing. I think in the future, if people want to, again, probably not going to be super scientific. I can kind of single out stuff because that's the way that you can start to understand each device's impact on your setup, right? So like I might skip the switch, the Extron switch, and go from the MiSTer directly to the more. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the scalars. So go from the Extron to the scalars to the capture card. But you know what I'm saying. So I can skip different parts of it to see how that affects lag. Haircut, yeah, I got a haircut last week. I don't. Ever since COVID, my girlfriend started cutting my hair, and I just never stopped because it doesn't. I'm not super picky. I don't know if you guys know that I'm not a super fashion bro or anything. But yeah, I used to have really long hair, messy. But when I was in high school, I had long hair. Like didn't want to cut it, so I really don't care what my hair looks like that much. But it is nice when I do get a haircut because then I don't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, then she's offered to start doing it, and I'm like, hey, it's $15 or whatever it is for a haircut that I get to keep. So, all right. Any other previous announcements? Yeah, let me kind of wrap a couple things up. Well, actually, I'll introduce something, but I'll wrap some other things up that people may have been wondering. I've been tweeting about some things. So, where is it? Hold on, it's over here. So I have more. I assembled the N64 stick box. So if you follow me on Twitter, I mentioned that I got this. I know they're in two pieces now. Like the bottom of this is resin printed in nylon, which is like a powder. So SLS 3 printed. It's like a powder. This is nylon 11 if you're curious, because there's two different varieties of nylon. This is the gray version, and the top of this was the black. So these came together. I bought them at the same time. The top part here is actually vapor smooth. So they take a acetone or something, whatever dissolves nylon, I suppose, and they made it smoother. So I thought that it might make a good. The whole reason why I did it in the first place is because the bottom of the stick box, the clip, one of the clips is broken off here on the side. So the Z button won't stay on very well. So I needed the bottom piece anyways with new clips. So that's what prompted me to do this. Oh, sorry. What prompted me to do this in the first place because I wanted the clips so that I can reassemble that controller. But I figured I would try the new top, the gate, the nylon gate. And it was terrible. I mentioned it a couple streams ago. So it's also using kitch bent. So you use the original, whatever those are called, the transcoder or whatever the wheels, whatever you call those little wheels from the original bowl, stick box bowl. But everything else is new kitch bent stuff, and well, the spring and stuff is not. But so this is basically a rebuilt controller. So the nylon stick box is a fail. Maybe there's some voodoo magic that makes it slide easier or something. But the original part, the original gate, which is kind of, it's in bad shape on this one. I know this is not a top down, but you can see the scratches here at the top of the gate. Like it's a pretty scuffed thing, but you know, it's a lot better. The actual movement now is more like stock. So I have my stock one. That this is the one that if you watch my the 8BitDo wireless receiver thing, I just use a stock stick box. This is uncleaned and unlubed. So hey Renee, so I need to take this one apart. Now that I have gray, I got an order of gray kitch bent, like the reproduction, but it's still the gray color. So I have my blue. We're going to use my wire controller tonight. I don't really like this look of the blue. Good N64 joystick replacement I hate this stupid heart. I really hate it. This heart on the OBS screen is to be gold. Going to be gold. Oh yeah, no, the Rocker Gaming thing I think you're talking about. Yeah, I mean a completely new mechanism. If it acts the same, it feels the same. I mean, I'm excited for that. And also, you know, affordable. But you know, that's sort of open to interpretation. But yeah, because I mean, there will be sooner or later, people just won't be able to use stock sticks. And I would hate for people to just have to hoard controllers just to swap stick boxes around. So anything we can do. But I mean, so far I've been liking it. So that's what we're going to play on, a lubed kitch bent box. Nothing 3D printed in it, but the kitch bent bowl and the gears and stuff. So it's been okay. It's been fine. I'm having a hard time. Well, I'll talk about my MiSTer setup, I guess. And then we can circle back to N64 controllers. I got one more thing, I think. Next stream, I got a sack. I don't think any of this has my doesn't have my name on it. I hope. Oops. I got a sack of parts to build the. I think I might have shown this on Twitter, or actually I might have shown here. Let's see. Nope, not that. This. Yes, it's heavy as heck. I think I showed this already, but this is what I'm going to do next week, or on Wednesday, I guess. The Micro 8088 build. So here's the PCB. It's all ENIG, which is cool. I forgot to have them cut the 45-degree bevels. This is an ISA style slot. I mean, some people say you don't need it for, you know, a couple of insertions, but I might try to bevel it. But then this is a backplane thing. Anyway, so I have all the parts. So at the end of the build, it might take a couple of nights, but I might, you know, introduce it and then kind of, you know, go as far as I can one night and then finish it off stream. At least these parts, because this is going to be a multi-stage. Showing off my sack, yeah, yeah. It'll be it'll take a while. This is bigger than the OpenTendo. So if you built an OpenTendo, this is probably going to take a lot longer for every piece. So essentially, this will be the computer part, the actual CPU part of a IBM PC class computer, like the original IBM PC. And I have enough other parts, right? So like I have a graphics card that we can use to test, like a VGA card, and I don't know, storage or something. So I'm going to need like an XT IDE. So we'll be able to boot off of this, but that doesn't mean I'm finished with the build next week. So there'll be, I think there's going to be a reproduction sound card, although we kind of have the Gus, but this is like specifically a, I think it might be, I don't know, Sound Blaster or something. But, you know, we can always swap those out. But then there's also a VGA card, so graphics card, and an XT IDE card. So it'll be a whole series on making a IBM PC class computer, not from scratch. It's mostly new parts, but it's like the NES RGB, or no, it's like the Open Nintendo. You need to supply your own, like CPU, original CPU, or you know, a 8088 CPU, and some other original parts. So the chipset. So we'll talk about that next stream. But it's going to be a little bit of a break from Morph for a little bit, just for that one video. So, well, we'll see how it goes. I know a lot of people, you know, that's a drastic transition, but hey, I'm sponsored by PCBWay, so I have to do PCBWay things. I like doing PCBWay things, so we're going to take a break and do that. So I think that's pretty much it for other stuff. So I guess I'll mention that we're going to go into this sort of, my perspective is like, I don't know anything about MiSTer. We're going to mess around with resolutions and stuff. And we also have to enable direct video. I haven't not done any testing. I kind of wanted to like wait. I know how to do it. I think you have to add a line in the ini file to enable direct video. But I figured that we can test not direct video. So that's just the HDMI output of the MiSTer in different cores, whatever, to the scalers. But I do want to test direct mode. I'm curious how it's going to perform through, if it's even going to get through the Extron at all. I'm not sure of direct mode. Because the last time we did direct mode, direct mode, I suppose, was the PS2 gem. And I think Dan was kind of explaining it that they're sort of similar. Maybe not exactly similar, maybe not exactly the same, but how they work is sort of similar. So Retro PC is a must. Yeah, I have a bunch, and yeah, it's just hard because I know a lot of people don't. It's different, you know, when you can. Well, not to say that every person that is watching this is going to follow along or whatever, or wants to follow along, but for some reason, I feel like PCs are still, like, people don't like watching them. I mean, I guess it's a completely different genre, I guess, so. But there's a lot of cool games, it's really fun, and there's a lot of cool modding adjacent things. So if you are interested in modding consoles and you're looking for something new, I think retro PC stuff is really cool. Yeah, so that's what I was taking a break and doing. Add the line to disable direct mode in the menu. Well, right now it's not. Right now it's disabled. So let's switch to it, I suppose. I have all three of the scalers going. The OSSC again, I'm only capturing it in 1080p because I don't have a third 4K capture card. But you know, just as far as compatibility is concerned, whether or not direct mode is going to work, we'll find out. All right, so let's fire it up. Actually, it's already fired up. So, yeah, so it's something that you have to add to the ini file, add to the menu. So let me I guess show what I've done, right? So I think I did like I don't know how long it's been since I copied like the folders. Like I'm not going to talk about how to set up MiSTer, but there's like a bunch of, maybe it is all done through an updater script nowadays. I'm not really sure. But somehow I copied a bunch of folders, and that gives you different folders for each console, or maybe I ran the update all script. But in this utilities folder, or no, not utilities, the scripts folder, I guess. There's this update all. I'm not going to hit it now, but there's this update all script, which is what I was using. So I downloaded the latest version of that recently, and I ran it again. So that kind of got me everything that I've got. So I guess I'll mention there, if you're looking specifically to run the N64 core, and this is, you know, kind of piracy adjacent, and maybe if you are, actually, let me see, how do I I think it's just in the start menu, so I think I can skip it. So if I do go to scripts and I go to update all, I'll show you there's a setting. Yeah, I didn't watch it so then I got to press, oh no, I hit continue instead of, I wanted to hit up. If you hit up in the beginning. I was thinking about watching it, but I I'm not gonna really comment, and I guess I guess I don't know. Is there a part that's like succinct for us to live stream it and react to it? Because I don't have time. Obviously, we're not gonna watch his whole stream and this whole stream. So when it gets to this part, you gotta hit up to go to the settings. This part, up to go to the settings menu. Okay, so like I said, I think maybe system options. No. Other tools. No. Extra content. Oh yeah, this BIOS database. Oh, why does it get reset every time? That's interesting. It was on. Maybe it's for each run or something. You have to enable it. So I turn BIOS on. So basically that got the BIOS files that are required for the N64 MiSTer core. Again, piracy. Pretty much. I'm not going to say it's even piracy adjacent. I mean, that's piracy because I think in these cases you're required, basically, in order for you to be legal, you have to acquire your own BIOS, I think. But Voltar was using direct video. Seems like it would be a proper use case, to be honest. Well, you know, I don't know if I would say. Well, yes, I don't know if this is like an official statement, but I'm pretty sure that the proper way to get the highest quality video, although it probably doesn't matter nowadays with not deinterlacing, but what is it called when you decimation or whatever, input decimation, where you can just skip every certain number of pixels and just use those in your sample. But anyways, in theory, I suppose direct video should be the best way to get the digital signal from the source console to the scaler. So it would not be too much of a stretch to think that people who are looking to get the best are going to use direct video. With that being said, it's not set up by default. So let me get out of here. All right, so it's not enabled by default. So somebody might have just whatever their native MiSTer resolution is, right? So what, 1080p is the highest, or does it go to 1440? I don't even remember. There's a way to set it, right? In scripts or something? There's a settings script or something, right? I don't know if I have it. This video settings, or these are just options. I can't remember. I thought there was a settings menu here. Let me just look for a minute. Utility. Input test. Dudes probably won't run into the same issues. Yeah, I'm planning to use direct video. I'm gonna enable it in this stream. I'm hoping to do that. So it goes to 1440p settings.ini. Is there a so if you don't know, I think, let me see if I've got it already pulled up. What? Shoot. I'm just. Do I have to turn Samba on? Sorry, I'm trying to enable Samba, I guess, where you can connect. Is it in scripts? Yeah, I think it's in scripts. So you can connect to the MiSTer's SD card from your computer. I think we have to do that. Does it tell me what my IP address is from here? Oh yeah, it's over here. So that's my local IP address. So let's go there. Sorry, we're getting there in a second. If we do this. Whoops, was that the wrong way? Nope, that didn't work. What the hell? Yeah, no wonder that didn't work, because that's not the IP address. Sorry, guys, I'm biffing it right now. Trying to connect on my computer. Okay, there we go. And then what's the default password? We should be able to edit these settings and then restart. I mean, okay. Default is, probably should change this. Root and password is 1. Okay, now I can show you what the hell I'm doing. Wait a minute. If anybody knows a better way to do this, please let me know, because this is kind of tedious if I have to do this every single time. So let me switch to the browser. Okay. Okay, here we go. I have a dumb question. What is the benefit of direct video when you have a pre-scale option? Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure. In theory, there's a speed benefit because the MiSTer is not scaling anything. It shouldn't be upscaling anything, just generating the signal and directly outputting it. So in theory, lower latency, but whether you actually get that or not, I'm not sure. Is it works automatically? Right. That, I suppose that's true, because if you try to use your, if you don't change your resolutions depending on what you're playing, whatever upscaler on the other end, so like your MiSTer is plugged into an upscaler, your upscaler is always going to see whatever your maximum resolution that you were setting with MiSTer, unless you change it per console or per game, mid game. Like, you're not going to do that. So, direct video is going to output whatever the resolution is, and then it's up to your scaler. So it's more of like the digital form of analog, like direct analog. So yeah. Okay, cool. Was the interlacing working well with the PS2 gem before? I don't know if we tested 1080i. We didn't test. Is there another deinterlaced video in PS or deinterlaced resolution? All right, so here we are on the MiSTer. So you go to this SD card folder. Now this is everything that you would normally. This is like your root of the SD card on the MiSTer. So there is a setting somewhere. MiSTer.ini. Do we bother diving right into? Does anybody want to see just normal output? Okay, so let me just show you quickly. So like, if you don't want to do, this is probably like if somebody doesn't know that direct video is a thing, they're just going to use normal MiSTer, right? So they're going to be like, okay, let me go to N64, and right now my MiSTer is set up to go to output 1080p. So the MiSTer is doing the scaling to 1080, and then the Morph is really just line doubling that. Is there a load recents or something? No. Oh, that's cool. I saw that you can transfer game pack, so like the Game Boy Advance thing. Super. Where the hell is Mario? Not in this folder. It's in the other folder. Derp. I think the point, though, is, I don't know if that's the best way, right? Just having the MiSTer output the scaling. I don't know. You'd have to measure if there's I don't know. You'd have to compare pixels, right, to find out if they're going to be exactly the same. So this is just the straight up Morph, right? Or the MiSTer. Let me get my TV here. And then let's see, what is the MiSTer saying that we have? 1080p, right? So my MiSTer set to 1080p, and then the Morph is just line doubling that to 4K. Oh, I've got to change my video output so that I can hear it. Okay, sorry, it was on a different. Audio sounds kind of crazy. Yeah, it does sound kind of crazy. Huh. Oops, I had the sound off here. It could be the core. Let me see if there's a setting. Let me get this freaking menu off the screen first. Is there, I never remember how to open the OSD. I don't think I set a shortcut. I don't know, that is kind of weird, huh? Video and audio. Huh, I don't know, that was kind of strange. So this is everything as default in the core. I mean, without having a real N64, which I guess I could pull out my real N64. I mean, the point of this stream is not really to pick apart the N64 core, but it gives me heavy deblur, you know, the deblur setting vibes around Mario especially. But I think that all that stuff was probably in the OSD. Low pitch Mario. Mario took the wrong mushrooms. This is the latest from the other day. I don't know. I literally set this up maybe a day or two ago. So if there was another new, it didn't sound this bad the first time I did it. So let me just reload the core. Let me just restart it. Does MiSTer output? I guess that's what direct video would output if you were doing a Super Nintendo or something. Let's try it again. This is the right one, right? This is the one from March, end of March. I forgot that it doesn't. Is there a play last game kind of menu like the EverDrives?
It's me, Mario.
I hear what you guys are saying. I'm trying to compare it on through my head. That's weird. Is there some? Maybe there's a capture setting that I messed up. It sounds fine on my TV. Okay, hold on a minute. That is bizarre. What the hell is happening? This is awful. I don't think I have a filter on it or anything. That is really strange. Why is it doing this? Sample rate is off or something? Yeah, so I think it is something with the capture. That's kind of funny. All right, I don't think I can change the settings, but why is it only that? What is? There's some funky shaking happening, like cans shaking or something. Well, let's see what the retro tank does. It's the same thing. Oh, this is the retro tank. That's weird, isn't it? Oh, the Morph does the same exact thing, but it's louder. What? What is happening? But why is it outputting fine on my TV? Why is that a setting? Okay, well, damn it, that kind of makes me mad. Because now you guys are gonna have to suffer. Well, maybe it's just Mario. I don't know. Oh God. Yeah, we could check out Wave Race, but you know what we should try first? We should try getting direct mode to work. So the reason I was talking about getting Samba to work and being able to connect to the MiSTer from my computer is so that I can change that INI file. So So I need to find where that INI file is actually first. Config? Let me just Google it. Oh, God. We're going to listen to Vaporwave Mario. No, how do we do this? Turn on direct mode, MiSTer. I absolutely hate some of these results up here. Sometimes they're terrible. Okay, so all you have to do is add direct video equals 1 to the MiSTer INI file, which I think is in this folder. There's a chance that's already in there. We just got to uncomment it. It's kind of awesome. Yeah, we'll come back. Restarting usually helps. Yeah, well then I have to restart my whole computer. All right, MiSTer INI, you gonna open here or what? Or do I have to be in the menu? Oh, okay, I might have had to be in the menu. We might have turned Samba off. That's kind of a shame that doesn't go. Oh, that sort of makes sense, right? Because when you're in the core, it doesn't do that. Okay, I got to turn Samba back on. I think you have to do this every time, which is kind of annoying. Just when you're looking to drag settings over, so it's really not that bad, but. Okay, now what? Oh, did the address just change? Oh, come on. No, replicant, I want to turn it on. I don't want to turn it off. It's already off. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why this is not working. Oh, so if there's no way to do this, oh, okay. It showed up finally. Okay, finally. Got it back, sorry. Oh my God. The credentials thing popped up in another screen. Okay, sorry, I'm here now. I'm back. No, I don't want to update that. Let me go to that. Okay. So this is the MiSTer config, and for the most part, isn't there an update interface somewhere? I'll have to look for it, but I don't think this setting is in it at all. So direct video equals 0, I want to turn this on. Use only with VGA converters. Well, sorry, Extron, you might get blasted. Okay. So now what, do we have to restart probably? For the menu only, you want to keep direct mode off. Okay, so if I'm doing it this way, where is that menu, by the way? I knew it was somewhere. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, interesting, for the menu alone. Okay, so is that somewhere in the MiSTer INI file? I see what you're saying now. So there's a menu core. You want the menu core to have direct video disabled, is what you're saying. Is that somewhere else? Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're creating a thing. I get it. All right, I'm being dumb. Okay, now I get it. You're creating a line for that. for the menu specifically. Got it. All right, so let me make a note in the. Okay, now I get it. I was being not smart. He's talking about here. So basically, like I added it, or it was already here. Direct video equals 1, right? So I turned that to, it was 0 before I turned it to 1. So when I'm enabling it for any cores, I suppose. But according to Replicant, there's some direct video issue with the menu. So we got to also add this line down at the bottom. So that must override. You could probably override each core with that, but this core being the menu. So I just want to write disable direct video for the menu core. Got it. Okay. All right, cool. I'll have to watch the video then and find that part, or listen to that. I'll listen to the whole thing, but you know. All right, cool. So now, got it. Thank you guys for telling me that. Now we can switch. I guess what, we restart? Or does it take effect? It probably doesn't take effect right now. So let's restart. So I have to do that in the reboot. So it's not going to change anything in the menu, so we have to go into a... oh, so I was mentioning before, having a hard time. So I'm using Timville's 4 adapter. So that's what I have my N64 controller plugged into. So it's just a USB cable going into the MiSTer on the other end. I had a hard time getting wireless controllers to work with the 4 adapter. So I have this RetroTime, the Blue Retro 8-bit adapter, or no, Blue Retro Bluetooth adapter. And try to use both the NSO controller and the 8-bit controller, and it doesn't work. Neither of them work. So I don't know if it's like a power thing. You may have to separate the line there after the menu. Oh, I see. Yeah, I might as well do that. Might as well do that while I'm here. Then I'll restart it. It shouldn't, because I think it's like, that's kind of the style of configuring, well, just for Haas. We'll do it anyways. I think there were plenty of other, well, I'm not going to say plenty of other. I'm not sure. Okay, that's fine. Or maybe even need to do this or something. Okay. Let's restart one more time. Oops, what's going on here? All right, so now I'll switch to this. And it looks like it's already trying to direct video mode here. Maybe there's this weird setting. Oh, maybe it didn't work. Or maybe we need to do that new line thing, like we said. Okay, cool. So that was it. Yep, you're right. I think it did need to be on its own line. Okay, I got it. All right, so now from all that, we've just got the direct video is enabled in the cores, but direct video is disabled in the menu. So now you can see the Morph is still registering whatever your output resolution is for MiSTer. For me, it's 1080p. So now we got to hop into a game. Let's hop back into N64 and see what happens. So again, I haven't changed any of the settings. I didn't change anything in the core. I'm gonna just guess that. Oops. Yeah. I'm hoping that just setting that config will just enable it. Did I save the i9? I did. Yep. Yeah. I hit Control S a bunch, so we'll see. So what resolution is it recording now? 255p. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can get some more some Vaporwave Mario again, and then we'll do something else. I don't know. I just like Super Mario 64 just because I'm mostly familiar with that. Okay. Oh, now I have to turn it on. It's a big Mario. All right, now I have to go into something in the Morph. Okay. In the Morph, go to Advanced Video. The audio got worse. What is happening? Something hates it. Okay, turn on DV1 mode. Okay. Cool. Looks like the Morph knows the source is DV1. I wonder why it doesn't auto. Yeah, I don't know if there's maybe there needs to be an auto setting here. Oh, this sounds terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see if it's still terrible on my... No, it's fine on my TV. What the heck? I didn't even notice this before when I was playing. Huh. Because I didn't like listen to it through the recording or the capture. That's strange. Well, I don't know if, well, let's listen to it on the OSC OSC Pro is killing itself. Oh wait, it's off. Never mind. It's not even on. Is there any special setting I have to do direct video? Does OSC Pro do direct video? Pretty sure it would, right? I have to enable. I have to. Boy. Well, I'm not sure. Oh. I might not like it. It gets deeper every move. It happens on both the RetroTink and the I mean, it looks fine. It looks like I would expect an N64. Like if you asked me to guess if this was MiSTer or a real N64, I would be like, what do you mean? It's a real N64. I do kind of notice some. Oh, that is side by side with the real N64. I'm not sure if that's like like an N64 thing that you really wouldn't notice if you were playing with composite video, anyways. Yeah, it looks fine. There were some parts where I noticed some like flickering, but I don't know if that's normal. Like at the bottom, you can see at the bottom of Mario. I don't know if you guys can see actually. Let me see. Let me set it to the Morph. Can I preview this full screen? Yeah, you guys can see it on your. Should be able to see it. So like the Mario right below the bottom left of Mario, it's got like a little flickering. I don't know if that. Oh, it's on the top right too. Oh, it's on every. It's pretty much on every R in Super Mario 64 in the background. So I don't know if that's a weird MiSTer thing, because I don't have a real. Mute the sound. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, I guess we should try a different game, right? Because I don't know if maybe Mario specifically is borked. Let's try a different game. Wave Race. Hey, Wobbling Pixels. I'm sorry about the noise, guys. It's awful. All right. Man. I know there's a button to reset just to the MiSTer core, but or menu, but actually it should be here, right? If I go to, I guess I should do this. Press right. Is this D-pad right? Okay. Button key remap. How do I choose? Enter, finished. Ugh. I don't have a oh God, I really need a keyboard. Gosh, I need a keyboard connected. Sorry. Where can I get a keyboard right now? Oh, there's one. Sorry, I'm getting my wireless keyboard situated. Okay. Turn it on. Okay, it's on. Now what? Do I enter equals finish? Escape? Okay, whatever. I'm not doing this. I know there's a way that you can get back into the menu. I don't know what it is right now. I'm just going to restart it every time. Press the menu button on the MiSTer. Oh, I get it. Oh, okay. Now, now it doesn't go back up at all. Menu hold, button key, button what? Press the menu button on the MiSTer and it will finish it. F12 on the keyboard. To start. Oh, to bring up the OSD, you mean? Yeah, you're right. Let me see if this will work. So if I'm here, if I just press F12, okay, got it. So I'll just leave my keyboard out and I'll just do it that way instead of having to mess around with that. Okay, so let's try wave race, I guess. Just something different. Let's see if that weird audio thing is happening. I hope I think I have it. There we go. Wait, where'd it go? Wave race. Oh, I was just on it. I know that there's a way, Replicant, to set the hotkey on the controller to bring up the OSD, so you don't have to have a keyboard connected. Does this sound fine? Oh, it's awful. It sounds fine in person. How does this even? Why is it even a thing? Now do I have to test if it's the Extron? All right, well, let me plug. I'm gonna, for the sake of all of your ears, I did not test this far. I'm sorry. For sake of all your ears, I'm just gonna try to connect the MiSTer directly to the Morph, and we're gonna skip the Extron to see if the Extron is the culprit with that weird audio thing. I don't know why it would be. Most likely it's probably a capture thing, but because it's getting all the way through that whole chain to get to my TV. So I don't see why it would. Oh, I need to do this. I'm sorry. I got to unplug the wrong thing. Oh well. Okay, so now the MiSTer is connected directly to that. I really don't think it's going to do anything. Oh, it sounds terrible. Oh, okay. How do I don't think you can adjust the sample rate for a specific input. That's bizarre. I wonder if I would have to use an audio stripper to get the clean audio, like get clean audio or something. Damn it! Another thing I have to add. I've got all the stuff and all the connections. It's just annoying to have to do that. Hey, Belmont. That's weird. I mean, I'm looking in all the settings that I can look in. Huh. I don't know, man. This sucks. Now what? Okay, fine. Well, that sucks. It's like now it's gonna be a painful stream. All right, that's fine. Yeah, it's not. This isn't because of direct mode. It was happening before that. It's an issue specifically with these. I'm guessing the live gamer cards. All right, well, I'm going to undo what I did then so that we can do some more just visual comparisons, I suppose, between the stuff, between the consoles, or the scalars. Oh, man, I feels bad, man. I didn't test it. I wanted to wait and do as much of it on screen, but sometimes it backfires. Dang, that sucks. All right. Well, hey, here's the MiSTer cord. It looks great. I don't know if there really are any settings that does direct mode like this. Can someone educate me on direct mode? Does that mean like there are no settings to tweak? Does it tell you in here? Does it tell you in here when you're in direct video mode? I guess we got to try a console that does resolution switching. So maybe like Genesis or something. I know that you can go here, video output, and change this to... Uh-oh. What did I do? I did nothing. Uh-oh, I might have changed the setting. Welp. Let's just reboot the MiSTer. I don't know, but I might have fat fingered an arrow key and changed the setting. Let's get back. Hopefully I didn't save that setting. I just broke the N64 core, yeah. Well, what's a fun game, I guess, that you don't need audio for? What's a game that has, is there resolution switching in N64? Well, I gotta try whatchamacallit in this game. Gotta try the F-Zero game on N64. You hit the Paramount button. Oh, original video V1. Let's see. Audio filter internal video processing. Oh no, get out of here. Where was that button we were just in? That menu we were just in. Down here? Oh yeah. Rumble Pack. I don't have a Rumble Pack. Oh, it's in here. Video output V1. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. So I think that's pretty much it as far as like tweaking things, right? We could turn interpolation on though. Let's put on sharp, I guess. There we go. And then we can do full screen, kind of. Okay, that one. Nice. Well, whatever, we'll just stick to that one. Cool. Well, I would love to agree with you, A, but all right, we're gonna try around. More recently I've learned that the N64 is the suboptimal console compared to PlayStation, because I was an N64 fanboy at the time, all the way through like GameCube, I would say, and then I quickly learned. Oh, and I learned recently that if you have the best output, you know, if you have a N64 with some kind of deep blur. So my first high red or like RGB experience was with the Tim Worthington NES RGB board that had the built-in deep blur function and stuff. It's like way before HDMI mods, and even that. So that's let's say that's the best looking. You know, that's debatable. And then mix it up with or compare it to the PS1, and it's just there's no contest that the PS1 looks better in my opinion. So what resolution does 240p? Huh. Interesting. It doesn't look super duper sharp. I mean, obviously it's because we're not integer scale. So let's see what would happen if I was... Let's see if we could set this to integer scale. Which would be this. I don't know. 4:8. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it back to the green. It doesn't look super duper sharp though. Maybe am I doing something wrong? I mean, it does. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks good, but maybe that's just the assets in the game. Yeah, I would have never expected this core to ever come out. So the fact that we have a core, N64 MiSTer core is amazing. This game looks sweet. I never really played this game. Looks like high res mode 7 Super Nintendo. And it is really terrible not being able to hear it. Coming for you first place. I'm just imagining the soundtrack in my head. Like I just know that song from Smash Brothers. Man, this game was probably sick at the time. I played Pod Racers. That was the N64 era racing game. I played that, and I played Lego Racing, Lego Racers, whatever. That was my racing. I guess I also played Mario Kart, but I didn't own Mario Kart when I was a kid. I just owned I didn't even own Lego Racers. I borrowed that, but I owned Pod Racers. That was a good game. Yeah, it does. It hasn't frozen or anything or like stuttered. It looks good. I mean, it looks fine. Like I would totally play this. No, I just meant like I just don't like the look of the N64. Like it doesn't seem like it has capable enough hardware compared to a PlayStation 1. But I guess it does come down to what game you're trying to play. But like I played Spyro. Like if you take Spyro versus this, or like any other platformer on the N64, I would rather play Spyro. Has way more than 15 good games. I think there are a lot of good games for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll just leave that sentence there. I think there's a lot to like about the N64 for sure. Conker's the only game I liked. Let's play Donkey Kong. Oh, man, damn it! I can't play Donkey Kong without the audio. That's really annoying that that's still broken. All right, let's play Donkey Kong. Is there anything that has resolution switches or anything? Doom? Or is there a game that needs the expansion pack? How about Perfect Dark? What? Oh, I want to go up. Okay, there we go. Perfect Dark needs the expansion pack, so let's try that. And the games load damn quick. Like, I think I would be super happy with this over an N64 and all the stuff. Let's see, what's the resolution? 40i. Okay, so this is interlaced. Is that what the expansion pack gets you? Or it'll tell you right in the beginning here if you don't have the expansion pack. Doom 64, Resident Evil 2 with the expansion pack. Spyro based. Like I said, the first PlayStation I actually owned was a PS2. I had a friend that had a PS1, and every time he left it at my house for a week or something because he had to go do something. So I played Grand Theft Auto and Spyro for a week, and it was like bliss compared to N64. The image is not de-blurred. I don't know what you mean, de-blurred. Oh, I don't know. Whatever the normal MiSTer core settings are. I don't know what you can tweak and what you can't tweak with direct video on. Oh, so maybe I should mess with this stuff. Is that texture filter? Stereo mix? What? God, none. Did I mess that up? I don't know. All right, so let's turn texture filter off. Oh, that's de-blur? Okay, I wish I wasn't in this screen. Here, let's get the hell out of this screen. Let's get into the game so we can actually look around. And it didn't mention anything about needing the expansion pack, so it seems like it's working fine. Oops. Okay, I guess I can just walk around. Wow, holy hell. I don't think I've ever played Perfect Dark with that frame rate. That's intense. This game, if you play this game on an N64, you're gonna have a bad time. Hey, guy. No, I don't want to go. I want to do a mission. Okay, so let's mess around with the settings, though. I think what? Turn off some of this stuff? So we turn off the texture filter. Oh, God, I keep hitting the wrong button. Turn off the texture filter. Okay, let's just do it, see what that does. Turn on bilinear filtering, not texture. So this up here, you mean? Oh, I see. So this V1, this stuff here adjusts this video output. So this is the one that turns off de-blur. When did you last play on Unreal N64? I did when I made the videos comparing the 8-bit-do wireless receiver thing to a Nintendo Switch Online controller. Okay, so that looks kind of de-blurry. Wow, it looks... it's like super duper... It looks different than de-blur. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if this is what I was supposed to be messing with, but the gun looks interesting up close. Don't turn off the texture filter. That will make it look like PS1. Okay. Texture filter would be for in-game textures, not the image blur. Okay, so that's these settings here. Wait. There's so many things to keep track of. So that's the settings for under V1. So is there anything else I can turn off? I don't think we want to... What does gamma do? I don't know, maybe it changes the de-dither. Oh! Okay, interesting. The dithering in the helipad. It's kind of interesting. So it's on by default with the N64. Who would want it off? Let's see what that looks like. I mean, you can tell in the X here and on the helipad. Okay, the frame rate is awful here. So maybe it was just in that Carrington Institute part in the beginning there that looked bad. I can't hear any people because they usually make noise when you can hear them. Yeah, the frame rate is kind of bad now. So I think it is, comparable to real. Ah! I think I might have found that button combination to get to the menu. I think I pressed it to get there. That's funny. Isn't there a guy around here? I'm not playing on hard, so I don't have to do any of the other things. Oh, hey guy, what's up? You're dead. All right, so the dithering is kind of bothering me. Let's turn it back on. It is kind of fun to be able to tweak these settings, like more beyond blur. Okay, we'll do Mario Kart in a second. Anti-alias. Oh, that is kind of neat. What is divot? Oh, I was watching a video. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but they said the divot is like you can see stuff, like fences and stuff, more clearly with that off or something. Noise dither. All right. So I'm guessing still then that this bilinear filter at the top here is quote unquote deblur. So let's go into a more colorful game. This game is kind of hard to see. And it runs like booty. On a normal N64, not even just this, so. Oh, it's called Mario Kart. Oh, gosh. Mario Kart. No, it's anti-aliasing. Divot fills certain holes caused by anti-aliasing. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, that makes sense why it's called divot. Turn off V1 anti-alias. Okay, let me see. Sorry if you guys are trying to tell me a way to configure it, and I'm not seeing it, I'm trying to like navigate 1,000 things at the same time. All right, so that's cool. Now we can bring up the menu again. So you guys are saying to turn off that anti-aliasing also. This. So anti-alias is what is blur. Oh God, I hate how it's not. I don't like how it's not left and right to change a setting. You have to hit enter. I don't hate it. It's just annoying. So this now is the deblur, quote unquote. All right, let's actually get into the game and mess around with it. No, I think it's off, right? I turned bilinear on. Do I want both of those off? Nothing else on home consoles came close. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed GoldenEye too. Like, it's not like I didn't. It's just I played. My friend liked Perfect Dark more, so we played a lot more of that. And yeah, so I just played a lot more of that. Devin, I found that there is a plugin called Move for OBS. And you can set it up in a way where it would be a hotkey, and it would apply a specific zoom on when you press the hotkey. So what I'm thinking I would do, if I had a bunch of free time, I would have to come up with hotkeys that would allow me to both zoom and move to a certain part of the screen. So it might be like zoom top left, zoom top center, zoom, center, and then I would be able to toggle it for across any of the capture things. But it takes some setting up. It's kind of a, not that it's sophisticated, it just takes a lot of manual setting stuff up. So VI deblur off is deblur, or VI bilinear off is deblur. Okay, so you guys want me to have both of these off and try that. Okay, let's try. Looks pretty good. I know some people may not like the, I don't know, sharp pixel effect, I guess, with these 3D games, but I think it looks fine. So yeah, I did figure it out. I would just have to really get clever with the scripts and things. Plus, I really do need another. Well, I need to stop spending money first of all, but I need to get another Stream Deck. Does power sliding give you boost in this one? I can't hear shit. What's up, idiots running my shell? Thank you. If you're just joining and you're wondering why there's no audio, it's because the audio sounds ridiculous for some reason. And I think it's the capture. I don't think it has anything to do with the scalers, because I mean the same thing happened with the RetroTink and the Morph. So I think it has to do with some setting on the capture card, which is really bizarre because you would think, I don't know how does it work then, or not with the capture setup in OBS, but maybe it has to do with the bypass setting or something. I don't know. Very weird. We like pixels. Yeah. In this house, we don't add scan lines. No, I don't know. But I understand people wanting to find out and stuff. I figured that maybe eventually we could do like just a dedicated stream to check out different scanline options or like the slot mask options. It would be really nice in a perfect world. I do have a CRT. It's not a PVM or anything great, but I mean at least it's something to compare a real device, a real CRT, to the output of a scanline or slot mask or something. So that could be a whole stream. I would have to set up shop kind of in my basement, but even then I don't have a 4K TV. It's just a complicated thing. If I can't bring my CRT up here, it's just a lot to manage. So have to think about that. Man, I don't even have to think about that this is on a MiSTer. I feel like I'm playing on a real N64. Are there some games that are like not good compatibility-wise? Yeah, sure. We can check out the RetroTink for this race. Oops, I didn't turn off the audio. I don't know. Is there a DV1 option for the MiSTer now? Or not the MiSTer. Jesus, the RetroTink? Let me see what I've got for settings. Or is there no setting like that for the RetroTink? Oh, there's a handful of games, 5 or 6. That's not bad. Hopefully they're capturing a CRT is kind of annoying. Yeah, it's definitely weird, and because you have to match your frame rate, your video frame rate, to the frequency of the display, and that's not normally a good thing for capturing video. Normally, like if you're doing video, there's some something where you have to do like you double what FPS you're trying to capture, and then put that over 1, and that's how fast your shutter speed should be. So for example, I capture in 60 FPS, so my shutter speed should be 1/20. And you don't it makes it suboptimal to have it less or not that same ratio. So as soon as you try to capture a CRT, you have to adjust the ratio so it's not the same. So yeah, HDMI menu should be on by default. Okay, interesting. Oh look, it wasn't on frame gen. There we go. Oh, it does say MiSTer 240p. Yep. So, oh, okay. So it kind of knows. Okay. Turn audio up for a second. Okay. Nope, it sounds awful. It sounds okay with my TV. I could turn it on. It might be super annoying, but if I turned it off here, I could turn it on my TV. I mean, it's working. You guys can hear it, I think. Just for a split second, maybe. Oh my god, it's so loud. Whoops. Can I test the PSX core? Can I? I don't know if I have. I'd have to look and see if I have PS1 games on this SD card. Let me turn it down a little bit. We don't need it that loud. I don't know if I have any games. I don't know what could we do without games. I don't know. Just look at the BIOS or something, or the login screen. Login screen. You know what I'm trying to say. The the thing where you do the stuff. It auto-zoomed it too. I'm not sure if that was a leftover setting from something else too. But I didn't zoom in this MiSTer picture. Like normally it should have a little bit of a border if it's this 240p, I think. Ah, stupid banana. Audio capture direct from MiSTer. I have an audio extractor that I could use, so I could just use. I'll just end up using that, but I have to set it all up. It's really kind of annoying though because, well, I don't know. It doesn't help us tonight, but it's a way I can get around it. I mean, it might just be a setting that's somewhere hidden that I need to figure out. But for the future, I have a audio extractor and I have all the cables and stuff for it. So no, I mean I have them. They're not on the SD card. That's all. I mean that could be its own stream too, right? I would also like to test some of the older pixel effects mods and even the Black Dog tech stuff because I'm curious if direct mode works through those, right? Because those should still support it. Anything that was like the highest end, I guess were there any options? I can't remember if there were any options for the digital mods as far as like a better one or a worse one. The digital mod should be comparable to the Gem Shiny Edition, so they should have that direct video mode. Do I have any Saturn games? I have one. Oh, game. I don't have any. I didn't get any from eBay, if you know what I mean. No, I do have one real. Actually, I might have some. I'll have to flesh out my streaming PC. I was hyper focused on PS3 stuff, and then I kind of stopped setting stuff up. But I do want to set up like all my games, kind of like a retro NAS, but without using that software. Not that I have anything against the software. I just want to be able to control it better, I guess. So I should get copies of games on this machine here so that I can just do it over the network. Did I just blast through a tree? Didn't know you could do that. Oh no, crabs! Oh no, crabs! I didn't want to go this way, Bowser. Oh, let's do the jump. We're gonna do the jump this time. How do you do the jump? Do the jump! Oh, fail. I tried. Get out of here, Donkey Kong. I'm winning this game. Yeah. Mario, the winner. Oh, wait, I have one more lap. No. We did it. Get out of here, Donkey Kong. You're not winning. Get out of here. Seriously, Donkey Kong. I'll mess you up. No, Bowser! Dang. Tink menu is up. Oh, my bad. Sorry, sorry, I've been playing the whole way that. It sounded like they made more progress with direct mode this weekend. PixelFX recently got direct mode working on all their products. It's in testing. Okay, that's cool. 480i games. Well, we just did Perfect Dark. That was a 480i. I didn't play much of it. That's a hard game to watch. Is there another? Not. It's not that it's hard to watch. It's just you either like it or you don't. I don't know. It's not a universal game for everybody. Should we talk about Mr. Laggy instead, or maybe we could touch on that at the end? Okay, we don't need to keep playing Donkey Kong, or this, I mean. Should we try one more game, or just put on a different game? Or actually, let's see what I've got for PS or PlayStation, not PS, PS1. Oops, how do we get out of this core? There we go. Do I have any games? Love to see the Amiga core. Yeah, I don't have any. Let's see, how do I bring up the... Nope, I don't have any on this. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to set up the network. How would MiSTer read from a network share? It's probably in here, right? Somewhere? Or maybe it's a setting. So I'll have to set up MiSTer, because I would like to go through some MiSTer cores here. I don't know. Is there a list of MiSTer cores that are having problems with Morph, like direct video problems or something? It did arrive, Belmont. My laggy is cool. DOA. I'll have to get some good games on this. I guess we could do Genesis, sure. Let me find my. I'm gonna find my controller. Gotta swap it out on the old 4 adapter. This thing's pretty great, actually. I mean, you know, within reason, it's great. Uh-oh, what did I do? Switch cores. Honestly, I don't know what happened. I guess, well, we could check out the laggy at the end. Did it freeze? Oh, I wonder if this is a weird issue with the... let's see, do I have to I didn't think I had to sync this. Oh, is this the wrong one? I'm using the wrong thing. Sorry, I was using the wrong controller adapter. I hate how they're all this. Most of them look the same. They don't label which one goes to which. So I'm using the M30 2.4, and then it suddenly made sense to me why it wasn't working. Okay, there we go. I guess we should also see if the audio issues. The audio issue does it on more than one thing, right? There are a lot of cores that do not yet have DV implemented. Okay, got it. So, yeah, in the meantime, you'd have to just do your... you would have to just play at the output resolution, like set a low output resolution or something. Let me turn it off on the speakers here. Where the hell is Sonic? Okay, this is when you guys find out I can't read. Oh, the audio sounds terrible. That is the... oh, the audio. All right, well, no audio again, I guess. That's crazy. Banger. It was kind of cool. Sonic 2. Still better than the EU Sonic. Oh, savage. Okay. Somebody said Sonic 2. I know Sonic 2 less than I know Sonic 1, which is not much. What the fuck? Okay. Hit the wrong button. Sonic from Hell. Yeah. See if this game is any... Ah! It's so crunchy. I don't like it. Okay, sorry about that. All right, Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Sonic Chopped and Screwed. Wow, this is a real bummer. It kind of ruins the whole thing. Not the whole thing, but... I don't expect you guys to have to, or you're going to play through a capture card, but just, I guess you'll have to take my word for it that it is outputting correctly on the TV for both scalars. Oh, you know what I should do? Well, is there a direct video? Did we already establish that there is no direct video mode for the Morph? I also don't know why maybe I don't have the thing plugged in. Just testing something with the OSSC. One moment. Ouch. Oh, I know what that is. Okay, wait a minute. The OSSC is not connected, and I think it's because... Okay. Never mind. Let me just explain. So I have this third scene that I have set up. I have a third capture card, but it's only 1080p. And I remembered that I connected the MiSTer through the fourth output of the Extron directly to this capture card. So this right now is it's attempting to capture the raw direct video output. So that's why this is not working. So I can, if you let the attract mode play, you mean like, so I have to, let me just reload the core of the game. Okay, I'll let that happen while I'm gonna plug in the OSSC, not the, yeah, OSSC Pro. So this is gonna go input. Okay, so I need to take this. This goes to that. Okay. Because I'm just trying to see if I switch to another capture card type, another capture card brand. Okay. So I need to set the thing back up again. Sorry, I'm doing something off screen here. In some instances, the audio sounded doubled too. Oh, it would have, it could, yeah. Sometimes I have scenes that have both of the captures going at once, but. Will it tell you in real time if the resolution switches? 224p. I don't. Okay. I don't know if the OSSC likes what's happening right now. All right, let me go in the menu. What the heck? The OSSC menu. Oh, I'm using the wrong remote. I'm sorry. So let me go to the menu. Switch this to AV4. Why is this in a weird 4:3 resolution? Oh. Okay. We're making progress. Hold on a minute. Sorry, everyone. I don't know what's happening. Here, let me switch. I don't know why it's doing this. Sorry, I'm struggling in a different scene to get the OSSC working. Okay, there we go. So now I transition. Okay, so this is the. Sorry if the audio is blasting you guys here. So I have to listen to this one. Monitor and output. Got it. Now I can test that this is better. Oh, is there no audio in a track mode? Or does this not have audio? Okay, you guys can hear this, but I'm not hearing this. Can you guys hear the Oh, I connected the wrong thing. There we go, monitor and output. Nope, still sounds terrible, doesn't it? Yep. Still sounds bad even through the OSSC. So the OSSC is using a different capture card brand, so I was thinking, it seems to be handling direct video okay. I don't know what's happening at the top screen and everything is all off kilter. I don't know if there's a specific setting with the OSSC Pro. I'm sorry. I'll turn it off. It's a sick vaporwave version, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's more to do to set up direct video with the OSSC. I'm sure there is. Let's see, can we go back? Let's go into the menu. Set that to that. It sounds like poo-poo. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So that might be an any scalar issue? Huh. Now I'm just looking up here. Are there any output type? Output options? Okay, so we're in line multiplier mode. TX mode HDMI, I think this is correct. Oh, DVI. DV1 or DVI? Did that change anything? Not really, it looks worse, right? Oh, no, I guess not. I don't know what this should be set to. Well, at least it's attempting it. I don't know why it's not centering the image, but it is processing it. So that's kind of cool. That was just a for my information thing. All right. Well, I didn't really want to go super duper detailed tonight. I wanted to set up direct mode, the MiSTer. I do think that there's more that we could look into in the future, for sure. Mostly just to test for bugs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it seems fine. It seems like it works fine. I didn't really run into any issues, at least with the two cores that I tried. Might be obscure cores, you know. Let's see. Can I try like? Let me try. Oh, my screen still has the the OSSC Pro on it. Get out of here. The OSSC Pro supports. You don't think it supports direct video yet? Can't you take audio direct from MiSTer into the Magewell? You can like output it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Does the MiSTer have a second audio output? I would have to do like audio from a splitter or something into my line in on my computer, which probably is not going to sound great. And I would hate to have to buy a a DAC or an ADC just for this. I'll have to figure out what the setting is that's causing that weird issue, the sound issue. But I mean, it was at least it was handling the video output. It wasn't just doing nothing, which is pretty cool. Oh, Toslink, right? Yeah. Then into the Magewell. I don't have any capture cards that can capture, or I don't have any audio interface that can capture Toslink. I've looked into that in the past, so I don't know if there are any sound cards that have an input, and not just an output. Oh, you're saying directly into the Morph. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the issue. I mean, it's getting the audio through the HDMI. It's just getting wonked up through the capture. So I'll have to do some more settings. MiSTer, HDMI splitter, Magewell. Or will direct video muck it up? No, right now you're seeing direct video through the Extron. Right now this is all going through the Extron, all three consoles. So like this is the all three scalers. So this is direct video going into the Extron DXP 4x4 is the one I've got. And then, so the Morph is connected, the RetroTink is connected, and the OSSC Pro is connected. I have a fourth output. Actually, I might have deleted it by now. Or I might have deleted it. The fourth output was going to a different capture card. That was the raw output, but I don't know if it will like direct video capture. The issue is the capture or OSSC because he took the switch out. Well, I put it back because it didn't change when I bypass the Extron. So most of the time tonight you've seen it go through the Extron. I suppose at the other end, well, the problem is, so it's a little bit of a complicated setup, and I'm just going to switch to face cam just so that, because I want to talk about the Mr. Laggy for a second. Maybe we'll do a whole stream on that, but it won't be the next stream. But I do want to, I think it's fair, now that I finally have a tool to do input latency testing, or at least end-to-end testing, not input latency, because that's specifically like how much lag does a controller add. So that's not what this is. This would be the entire chain from the MiSTer all the way to the TV. Do I see any differences between the Morph and the 4K? I hate to answer this question because, that's a loaded question. It really depends on how you like to play. If you are the type of person that just, like, you're like me, I guess, and like auto everything, you don't really want to, like, let's say there's an optimal profile or something, maybe you set that at the most effort, but you don't go like looking for extra settings and stuff. Zero difference quality wise. I mean, like I said, we can get into a little bit more scientific, and I say scientific because it's not really scientific. Really, if you wanted to compare them, the reason I bought these two capture cards is, while I can't necessarily stream them with no chroma subsampling, I can capture in the full RGB, 8-bit per channel, whatever, RGB. So that's the benefit of these. So I could capture both, or record both, I mean, and then you could blow them up huge. So that's what you would have to do, is you'd have to like blow both of them up the same way in the same amount, and then compare them side by side. To see what, I mean, I'm still seeing, at least when I was doing analog stuff, that's a analog I'm not really going to touch yet, because I guess I'll retouch that when the analog bridge comes out. So strictly digital inputs, I really have not found an issue or like a visual thing. Now, have I always had the correct settings or like the correct interpolation, smoothing or whatever? Probably not. Like, I usually turn that stuff off. You could turn it on, to help a little bit with some edges and stuff, but it doesn't bother me. Low, just low latency in general is what I'm looking for, and fast enough to play on the TV. So I honestly, the other thing too, and I don't know if this is a me problem or my setup problem, but like every time I turn off all of my equipment at night, every night. So like the next day, I have like a smart outlet plug, and it's connected to everything. So every day, I have to reset the RetroTink the first time. So I don't have to ever reset. I mean, I have to power cycle it. Or I suppose if you could have your RetroTink 4K on its own smart plug, and in that case, you can reboot it. But I find myself having to reboot that at least one time right in the beginning after I turn everything back on, and let's say I get ready for my stream. So I get ready for my stream, I come here and I check all the inputs before. I want to make sure that all three of the scalars, I didn't check the OSSC Pro, but at least the Morph and the RetroTink are both working and on. And nine times out of 10, the Morph is fine, it's on, and I can see the menu, I can interact with the OSD, and like if I have a game, like I had my MiSTer connected, I could just turn my MiSTer on because I set it up last night or two days ago or whatever. But the RetroTink, every time I have to power cycle it. So I don't know if that's an issue with the power supply that I'm using. I showed you guys what I was using, those Anchor. They're 2.5 amp or something ones. It could be that. It could be my cables. It could be the condition of my power, right? Maybe I have an older house. I have a house from the 1950s, so the Morph is not on the same level as the 4K right now. The interlacing on the Morph is not. I have never had the experience where like it's not usable. The interlacing is not usable. I mean, I've asked you guys. Okay, the one example was from Voltar, who said to do 1080i. And is that a visual thing? Are they comparing a visual output? Like, I have not. I'm asking people for edge case stuff so that we can compare them side by side. So if there is a case out there, a game maybe, or a certain resolution that needs to be compared, I guess we can compare it. But I have not been like, wow, I really don't like the way the Morph is playing this game right now. Usually I can't even tell the difference. Um, I mean, it's literally not on the same level because it doesn't have all the features yet. I mean, yeah, I don't, you can't compare them like that. Yes, okay. I'll admit, I don't like how Pixel Effects handled. Okay, so let's take a step back further, right? So I think here's what happened. Here's what I think happened, right? The Morph has been announced for a long time that Pixel Effects was working on a scaler in general, right? Then we had information about the RetroSync 4K, and this is over the span of a long time, like 12 or whatever, 18 months or something. So we got information about the RetroSync 4K. So we knew that was coming, and then we pretty much hadn't heard any updates at all from Morph other than it's in progress. And then we got a laundry list from Dan and Christoph, whatever. They had a big laundry list of games they wanted to make mods for. That was kind of like the introduction before Gem. So they must have like either stopped working on the Morph or something. They transitioned to making the Gem, Retro Gem product, or they probably were working on both side by side. In addition to the Morph, which they must have scrapped the original one after the announcement of the RetroSync 4K. They must have gone back to the drawing board and remade it for 4K. That was the only way really they wanted to be able to compete. So then fast forward. So we had a little bit of an update, kind of a leak, I guess, that during the Retro Gem that whatever announcement video that they were making a 4K scaler. Then we found out that the Morph is now going to be 4K. Then the RetroSync 4K actually was released, and then I think Dan, they figured that they have to at least get something out, even if it wasn't ready. So probably the most basic thing that was ready is just the digital, which doesn't include the analog bridge at all. So I think it's just a parts, not availability thing, but the analog bridge is a separate whole board. So if you're going to finalize one thing, the base Morph is probably the thing to finalize if you're going to release something early. So I think that's why I don't think it really has to do with analog being hard to program for or digital being hard to program for or something. Which, don't get me wrong, both of those things are difficult. I'm just saying that they had to choose one of them, and the lowest cost thing, which is just the base Morph board, that's what they went with, and that's why we just have the direct right now, the digital right now. So, but they announced this thing with a list of features, and analog was half of it, right? So like I got kind of annoyed. The first stream I wanted to do with the Morph was to use, well, first I tried the RetroSync 5X as an ADC, so an analog to digital converter to HDMI input into the Morph, because to me that's where I would think you would get that would be the most difficult thing, or like a stress test of the output quality of the Morph, right? So like you're having an analog noisy signal, how would it look upscaled? That's what I figured. That's why I did that the first stream. It turns out, you can't necessarily do it that way, or you have to use the OSSC with, optimal settings. Really is the best way right now that I know of to get the best quality input or analog input into it. So it's a big bummer, that so I guess another big bummer, and I'll go back and I'll read the comments in a second, but I think it's a bummer that they chose to make the analog part modular. With that being said, if you're looking at the big picture, sky is the limit, sort of all the features that Pixel Effects are looking to get out there. The Morph and connected to some of the digital HDMI mods, whatever, or analog via the Infinity Switch is the collection of all the things that they're hoping to have eventually. But so that's why I think they chose to have different plugs, so that if you wanted to just do the Infinity Switch, you could have a minimalist setup, right? Just the VGA port or whatever it is, and really not all that much because all your breakouts would be the infinity switch. I don't know. Compared to the feature set of the RetroTink 4K and even the OSSC for less money, that's nothing to say about the quality of the output. That's hard to compare. I need a third. Well, I would like to do a dedicated OSSC Pro versus Morph stream just to kind of, because it is capable of 4x3 4K output. That's a thing that it can do. But compared to the RetroTink and even the OSSC Pro, those have most of the ports that you're going to need, at least if you're a hardcore person that has either SCART cables or component cables, or I guess you're a weird VGA person like Jeff Chen. Not weird, but you know what I mean. The fact that the Morph didn't have just has all the ports on it from the get-go, I don't know. That is a little annoying. Now, don't get me wrong, if they had released the analog bridge right away when the digital part was announced, I think that would have been fine. It would have stung a little bit that you're kind of locked into a couple of ports, but it makes it better when you use the infinity switch. The issue of not completedness would be a lot less. It would just be about finding edge cases and doing comparisons between them analog wise to see which one has better quality video. Like at the end of the day, there's going to be an objective. Do they look better? Does one look better than the other one, or does the other one look worse, or do they look the same? And like that's going to be eventually somebody's going to be able to say that. But there might be a lot of getting there, I think. All right, let me look at the comments. There's so many. Call them out. Let me look at the comments. I probably have a lot of audio issues. It didn't look for differences tonight. Yeah, I didn't. I do always look for glaring things no matter what. Like I showed you that flashing in N60 or the Super Mario 64. There was the Super Nintendo or the Super Mario logo was kind of flickering. It could be a core thing. If I was going to look for real differences, I would have to bust out the N64 and do it that way. But this is not really a stream of N64. This is just so it's hard to tell what is an issue because of that's why I stick with the original consoles, because I don't know if it's an issue with the core or if it's an issue with the upscale or the scaler. The Morph is not okay. I already read that. Lots of HDMI transmitter hate outputting interlaced modes, to be honest. 40i from the PS2 does not hold up. Keep in mind, a lot of these people are zooming in to see small differences in how each function. Let's keep the back history and the drama out of it. No, I wasn't trying to bring up drama. I was just giving you my opinion about. Because if you don't know, if you're just new to my streams or whatever, and you don't know what I used to do a weekly thing where I would at least talk about goings on, like things in retro. So it's not like I'm out of it, and I try to be objective or stay out of the arguments. I already talked about this once that it is hard when you're in the drama. It's hard to stay outside of the drama. So I try to stay outside of it when I can. All right, it's going to be more complex as more gems come out to newer consoles. Analog bridge for Morph is released, and they're also trying to do the Infinity Switch. Yeah, they're doing a lot of things at the same time, which that's sort of why they had to drop stuff from the timeline, just because it looks like there's some flickering and stuff here. I'm noticing something. What is this output? This is the Morph. Let me show this. Again, I can't really tell. Like, using the MiSTer is sort of a bad thing because I don't know if it's MiSTer Direct Video causing issues. I'll show you what I mean. When it starts, when the little movie here starts, it must switch resolutions. It was all like fuzzy. Of course, now it's not going to do it. That's funny. Now that we're looking at it, it's just not going to do it. Well, anyways, this OSD was kind of flickering for a second. All right, never mind. All right. Let's scroll down. Aside from being better about SNES jitter, I don't think the RetroTink 5X is an ideal front end. Okay, yep. in general, chaining scalars is a tough use case and not something I'd really recommend. Yeah, I agree. I think there are benefits of thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Mike, and everybody. I mean, here's the reality, right? I bought the RetroTink with my own money. Dan gave me a Morph. I would not have been able to afford a Morph if Dan didn't give it to me. Like, I really shouldn't even have bought this capture PC, but I felt kind of obligated because I already had one of the capture cards, and I've always wanted to get a setup on this side of the room. So eventually, I would like to move like to my basement or something and have this whole setup in my basement. So having a second PC is not a bad, it's not at the end of the world. But yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest unfortunate thing is that all the things weren't there about the Morph compared to the RetroTink. All the analog bridge and everything was not available in the beginning. So, but I don't know, were there pre-orders for analog bridge stuff yet? I don't know if there were. If there weren't analog bridge pre-orders, analog bridge pre-orders, and they haven't shipped yet, like, that's a different discussion. But it's also sort of one of the it's sort of like and I hate to use Dustin. This is the only other example I have off the top of my head. It's maybe the make megahertz syndrome, where you have all the features that Project Stellar was supposed to have, which it did get, over time. So, for example, in the beginning, it didn't support the compressed ISO loading, or even ISO loading. I don't think was supported through Stellar. I don't know, that's kind of lumping both of the Project Stellar mod chip and the HDMI mod together. But so all the features for that were not ready right away, and so some people were upset that they were sold the unit. It didn't cost you less. You couldn't. Right, in that case, you couldn't get the cheaper option like the Morph. At least you could buy it without the bridge, and it's cheaper. It's only whatever, 400 or whatever it is. Versus the Stellar, you're out the whole cost with the expectation that these features will be added later. That's different than what happened here. Yes, there's a listing, and we had this huge announcement of all these features that the Morph was going to have. And I suppose, it's doing it again. The flickering, God, whatever. It was a resolution switching thing, and it was kind of flickering in the background. Until the analog bridge is actually out, I guess you can't really squash that, the hate for that. Like, why is the analog bridge, or where's the analog bridge, right? Until it's actually released, there's a possibility that it could still be vaporware and not released. So that's the only thing that, to me, is kind of floating above my head. Otherwise, it's going to be just continual firmware improvements. And you're experiencing two completely separate groups of people, and how they like philosophies about software development, right? I worked at a company who the CEO, I'm a software developer, but it was a different job than I have now. And in the beginning, before I was a developer, I was a quality assurance, so QA. So like, I would test the software before they would get released. And there would be times when our CEO would email us saying, it's let the customers, literally the customers, let them test stuff too. Like, let them find issues. So in the real world, there are lots of different ways. I'm not saying that is any way, related to what PixelFX is doing, but you have all types of software teams and hardware teams. They have different ways of handling things. So just because one thing, they're not all the same, I guess, right? They didn't all, build this thing in secrecy, make friends with the people that can kind of give you the most impact, I would say. This is just being a, objective thing. Ideally you should have had Wild Pixels and Firebrand X look at it and help you with, profiles and things. But that's like, you can't say that two completely different teams that are working completely different ways of doing things, they're not going to have exactly the same outcome. We aren't in a hobby, or we're not in a sector that affords you that. It's really whoever delivers first gets a lot of, gets the money in the beginning. Not to say that eventually, the Morph won't sell a lot, but the RetroTink came out first. That's all. So people could afford it, bought that. What language do you write? I'm a .NET developer, so it's C# and a lot of web stuff, so HTML and JavaScript. Yeah, JavaScript stuff. Just slap a $20 component to HDMI transcoder on it. Yeah, no, that's why I think if you're an ultra budget person, well, yeah, I think if you're ultra budget, there's no problem. There's nothing wrong with using the OSSC, getting the optimal timings for any analog system that you want to use, and just output the lowest resolution that you can. So don't. Well, I had problems with doing the pass through on the OSSC going into the Morph, but line double worked. And with things like decimation, which is, I think, in a nutshell, I think is when you can skip pixels when you have a giant row of pixels, and those have already been scaled by the OSSC. Decimation is basically saying, okay, every other or every third or every fourth pixel, whatever, skip and just get your video information from that. And so in that sense, you can, if there might have been noise or something, you might be able to reduce noise in your final output by just taking a certain pixel, maybe from the center or something. I hope that makes sense. Probably not. But so I don't think there's anything wrong with using the OSSC, but I'll tell you that that's a giant pain in the butt. Not having it built in, not having all the features built into the scaler that you're using it sucks. So if the analog bridge can offer all that because it supposedly uses the same chip as the OSSC, the original OSSC, not the OSSC Pro, you could expect that as many features as the OSSC has that you can tweak, between phase and all this other stuff, that the Morph should also eventually have. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of reserving ultimate judgment until the analog bridge is out. Whether that deserves of hate that the analog bridge is not out yet, I don't know. That's not really my thing. The theme of the night, vapor. Yeah, that's a real bummer that the capture card doesn't really. There was no pre-order for the analog bridge. Okay. And I appreciate that. I don't feel bad if you want to not yell at me, but if I'm doing something dumb, I really have no problem with you correcting if I have a setting wrong or something, or if I'm being thick and sometimes I completely maybe misunderstand what people wrote, and so that way sometimes my brain breaks, don't feel bad, or you probably sometimes it may come off as not bullying, but repeatedly getting frustrated that I'm not doing the right thing. I have some leeway there, right? It's not like the internet is a tough thing to navigate, especially live streaming like this. So yeah, don't feel bad for trying to tell me if I'm doing something, because I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know anybody who, if you're the type of person that knows everything about every console and how to set it up, I don't know where you put that in your head, because that's a lot. And to have to remember that all the time, there's so many things to have to remember. So, yeah. What analog consoles do I have left? How much is the Morph? Right now, the Morph is $400, the base one without the analog bridge. You'll backseat when it's 100% necessary. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm playing a game. It's not like I'm, I don't know if I would ever switch completely to game streaming, but it seems fine. It seems fun. I love just being able to, but that's a completely different skill set. Being able to focus on playing a game well and then talking at the same time. But, well, I was going to talk about the MiSTer Laggy, but we got into kind of philosophical discussions. I guess for the ultimate meme, for it to make the most impact, I should react to Voltar's stream. Whether I react to the whole stream, I don't know. Maybe I'll find a certain spot, and if there's an opinion he has or some proof about something not working, whatever, I would like to know about it. Because not in a negative way, but now that it's out in public, because Voltar said it, that now people might bring it up and be like, oh, what do you. So that's why I kind of feel like I've got to, chats and YouTube are tough. Plus you said, it's not that I'm not a MiSTer guy, I just don't use it. Like I have more fun actually doing the modding and stuff and figuring it all out. But like I said, I end up buying just because of when I was covering all the different types of retro modding stuff, like news that was coming out. Like I knew for sure that I wanted a MiSTer when I was watching Smoke Monster talk about it. Like I knew MiSTer was going to be huge when he did those videos. I knew it was going to be kind of it could be completely collection changing. Like if you do not care about having physical hardware, you don't feel like you don't care about maintaining physical hardware, or let's be honest, physical games, it's a no-brainer just to go MiSTer. Just the size-wise, now with the N64 core, but even without that, it just made a lot of sense. But then there's things like the Analog Pocket, which I bought that I don't really use much also, but I knew that's kind of a cool device. I know, I'm bummed about the audio thing, because that would have been, nice to not have that. Yeah, I think, it's funny, Mike, because I know, like, Red Herring gets, Red Herring, anytime anyone mentions anything about NES RGB, which is the RGB mod for the NES, obviously, you could probably put that together, or, like, I guess what's the HDMI modded NES, the high def NES, because how those, I think, I'm not an expert in those either, but from what he's described it, anytime you have sort of VDP emulation, or like the video processor emulation, which the NES RGB, I guess, has to do, it has to replicate some of the PPU in FPGA. Or all of it, I guess, something like that, right? Because the PPU goes on a daughter board on top of it or something. So I don't know if any of the pins, I'm not sure if any of the pins from the original PPU actually make its way to the board, or if it's kind of all emulated. I'm not sure about that. But so Red Herring's opinion is if any part of the video process is emulated at all, even just a little bit, even if it's just like ancillary functions that are not related to video, I don't know enough to know if that's the case or not. He deems it as, you might as well use an emulator, at least with the NES. It's different if you have a console like the Super Nintendo, which can, well, actually, no, the Super Nintendo board has RGB output on it, so that's kind of a different circumstance, because you're kind of filtering and amplifying the RGB signal that's on the console, versus the NES, there is no RGB output on a native console. So Red Herring has this sort of like, I don't know, vendetta that anytime anybody says anything about a NES RGB, or basically any NES thing that's not composite video, he kind of like, he'll always kind of troll you and says you might as well just use an emulator. So there's a lot involved with all these different discussions. So yeah, it is nice having all the hardware. Like, I am nostalgic for all the hardware, that's why I have it. So real hardware is always more interesting, but sometimes I feel people focus too much on Nintendo. Well, I kind of keep it simple just because, well, not just keeping it simple, but my background is Nintendo. Like I said, I was a Nintendo only person. I didn't even know, well, yeah, I didn't know much about the Genesis at all. Like, I didn't know the Genesis really existed when I was young. It wasn't until later that I even had one. It wasn't until like 10 years ago that I even bought a Genesis. So I just don't know the backlog and like what games are good. And yeah, obviously nowadays, or like at least for these streams, I want to get bang for buck comparison stuff and like just seeing if stuff's gonna pass or fail, I suppose. So I like hardware with ROM carts or ODEs. Yeah, those were game changers too for me. I had to collect all the ROM carts when I learned about that. What will be the system console of the next stream? Well, okay, so the next stream is going to be me building. I'm taking a break and we're going to do some soldering. So it's kind of to, yeah, I want to get started. It's already a quarter of the way through the year. and my goal, like I said, my end goal for this year is to finish that Micro 8088, the whole thing, and all the parts, all the add-in boards and stuff. So we're already quarter of the way through the year, and I haven't really gotten anything done other than print the case. But now I've got the back plane and the CPU part. Now I just got to test it and kind of do it. So that'll be the next stream is working on that. I don't know how long that's going to take. It's probably going to take longer than one stream. But I would at least, expect probably 2 at the most. I'll probably get as far as I can with the actual build in one video, or at least talk about the build. And then the following build will probably be me using other components to test it and stream it that way. So other than that, I don't know. Like, I guess, are there I keep forgetting that I have a lot of different things, right? So I actually do have both an RGB output N64 and an HDMI mounted N64. And on the MiSTer core, like, do people want analog? Well, it kind of sucks having to do analog through the OSSC, but I guess I could. Or digital through the N64 digital or the Ultra HDMI. I'm not sure about the Saturn MiSTer core, Devin. Bodymore, I prefer Genesis over SNES. I think, yeah, I like the colors more. Well, I don't know. I guess it's not as babyish, but I'm finding, the more I dig into the N64 library, oh wait, you said Super Nintendo. Yeah, I mean, there are some adult Super Nintendo games, but for the most part, I don't know. There's a lot of action. Just kind of, I don't know. I'd have to think about what my favorite games. You can't really beat Donkey Kong. Can't really, as far as like a good game. So I don't know. That's kind of complicated. The update all for Saturn was huge. So I don't know if you guys have opinions about what you want me to stream next Morph stream. I also want to do a dedicated like OSSC Pro 4K 4x3 output video. And well, okay, so that I want to do that, like play like Super Nintendo or something that's 4x3 and see how the output of that compares to, I don't know, at that point. I guess we could do the MiSTer, but I'd probably want to do probably the Troubleshooting 4K in that case, because I eventually will have to give Brandon back his OSSC Pro, and I don't think I've given that enough time yet. I just want to see the output to see if it is comparable, like if it is sharp enough in that 4K 4x3. Morph analog Super NT. I don't have any of the analog HDMI consoles. The only analog product I have is the Pocket. Yes, console original OSSC. I guess I just don't want to have to deal with the profiles, but I guess we can make it happen. I already have all the profiles on it. I guess we could do that. Sure. Yep, since I've already got I've already got the other Extron Crosspoint set up to output to 3 different devices, so we could do that. I'll have to set my OSSC up. I have to get the profiles going. Yeah, the OSSC is something. Are you talking about the OSSC Pro? Because the OSSC is definitely interesting. What is this resolution? Okay, 448i. I was just watching that. That flickering keeps happening in that attract screen because it's playing in the background still. And there is some weirdness happening on the Morph. Actually, you know what? I'll put up the Troubleshooting and see if it does the same thing. Maybe it's a problem with the scaling or something. Or the Extron. I have a Mio Mini also. I have a Mio Mini Plus. That device, it is really cool. I like it a lot. Like, that's a really good option if you have kids or something, because I love the console and game switching. So like you can just put it to sleep or whatever, and it keeps where you are in the game. I wish everything had that. I know it's not really possible with original consoles, but if MiSTer had a feature like that where you could load or save, where I know save states are a thing, but if you could save, you know, core wide or entire system wide like core saves, like or you have it like exactly where it left in the game, so that you can come back to it in the future, that would be amazing. I do have a GBSC. Yep, that has a pass-through mode, right? Does the SNES jitter through that? I don't know. I have a dejitter mod anyway, so it wouldn't really matter in that case. The Pocket has ported cores. Okay. Yeah, for the money, the Miu Mini is amazing. If you don't have one of those, just wait. You know, just buy one if they're in stock or whatever the newest one is. I don't even know what the newer ones are called, but there's a lot of cool hand emulation devices nowadays that are really worth the money. Especially if you have kids, they're really cool. I mean, especially, you know, kids are probably not going to play that long. At least my kids don't care that much. But like, my son was playing Crash Bandicoot on the PS1 on the Miu Mini, and he loved it. Like, what the heck? Like, that's such a random game to like. Well, I was going to talk about the MiSTer Laggy. We were going to talk about that. So, maybe we'll have to have an entire stream about that. So this is what you buy. This is all the MiSTer Laggy is this little thing, and it's a core. So you have to download the core to your MiSTer, and then you've got to plug this into the user port. So it says USB-C, which is kind of nice. So it has a nice Type-C connector here, and no other ports or anything on it. So you connect the USB cable, and it has to go into the user port, user USB port that's on the top, like not the same as the USB ones. And then it works well. Like you load the core, and then it just starts flashing, and you can change settings and stuff. So, yeah, I just had the retro USB ABS as far as FPGA game consoles go. Yeah, I never really bought anything with that. The Flip is coming? What do you mean the Flip? Oh, is that the new Miu Mini or something? Show the game? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, you guys can see the flickering right now. Do you see this flickering? The MiSTer the RetroTink was also doing it, by the way, because I have the RetroTink up on my screen. Let me just see what Belmont wrote about Mars. If you ever need to borrow it, the Analog Super NT. I mean, I like the style of their consoles and stuff. Oh, I'm excited to see other FPGA options. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where it really ends, right? Because like I feel like more like consoles in the future are like PS3, PS2 even. Like, how would you even work on a MiSTer core for a PS or a FPGA core for something like that? I mean, damn. I mean, is that a lot of what is it called when you decap a like a processor or something, and you look at all the transistors inside? Split scene. The sorry, the Morph is. Let me turn. God, I gotta unzoom the Morph. What the hell is happening? Oh, there we go. Sorry, it was me being a scrub with a... This remote is terrible. Sorry. What the heck? Is this really what the prescale was set to? Well, the auto zoom is kind of sus. I guess both consoles or both scalers have a different way of handling this thing here, the output of this direct mode. Well, this is as best as you're gonna get on short notice because I don't know how to move. Or can I? So if I do that, so save that. Oh, can I shift it down? Output vertical shift. What? Oh, output vertical shift. There we go. Is it going to line up? Yay, kind of. All right, hopefully you guys were understanding what I was talking about. They were not lined up. Oh man, are they they're in weird zoom things. I don't know. I don't know what's happening at the direct video. Oh, you see the flickering here? There's flickering here. I know there's so many things happening at once on the screen, but let me close this. Let me close this. Let me make it full screen on my screen. Yeah, both scalars kind of handle the resolution changes differently. I know they're not lined up perfectly. I just want to see what happens. I'm leaving the menu up because that's where I saw the flickering. I'll come back to the comments in a second. I just wanted to see if both of them do this flickering thing. Because what resolution is this right now? This is 224. So there was a weird part that was 448 or something. Is that after this? Is like each level different? It's kind of interesting. All right, sorry, one more. I just wanted to check one more run. Is it the next video that plays? No, I don't know. Sorry, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm back looking at the comments now. I was good to have 3 menus on the screen. Well, you know what? When when you're trying to do this, then I don't know. You could jump into the multiplayer mode. Oh, that would probably have the resolution, wouldn't it? Oh, I see. So you think it might be that it might be choking on the MiSTer core? That's or the menu, I mean. That's something I didn't think about. Oh, and of course now the zoom is all messed up. Okay, so it probably was the it probably was the menu being up messing with something. Okay. All right, I'm not the expert. All right, so yeah, I'm excited for the next Troubleshooting 4K firmware. I mean, you know, just to see what's different about it. Probably nothing for my purposes. All right, so, oops. Thanks everybody again. I wish I had done the MiSTer Laggy. We do have one now. I was testing a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot of variables, right? So there's like the different with the Morph and the RetroTink, you can have it set to like that low input, like frame lock or frame gen or whatever. That that can limit lower latency and stuff. You can be in the wrong mode on your TV. You can not be in game mode on the TV. So I know that there's a lot of different variables that will affect, and I'm curious how they'll affect the latency on both scalars. It won't be a super scientific thing, probably, but it'll be a good chance to kind of like look at the settings and stuff and see what affects it. Concrete season starts tomorrow. Oh man. 5:30 a.m. rise for the next 8 months. RIP. That's right. Belmont, if you're around, just Voltar React stream. So no, the next stream is going to be me working on the Micro 8088 soldering stuff. Because I got to get the ball rolling with that. But after that, well, and there'll probably be a testing stream, so maybe a week. But I do want to do a dedicated Morph, dedicated OSSC Pro video or stream. I mean, so trying to show off that 4K mode. So I don't know. At that point, this reaction stuff's probably going to be out of date, which kind of sucks. But I'll at least watch it, and I can bring it up next stream, and I can be prepared to talk about it for a couple of minutes at least. Probably, if I watch it. So that's the best I can do. I'm not trying to like drum up drama or anything, but like if there was legitimate points in there, it'd be silly to not know what they are, not watch it. So, all right. Thanks everybody. I know this kind of went cattywampus. I don't know what happened with the capture card audio thing. That's a weird bug. I don't think it has anything to do with the scalers. It just has to do with the capture cards. All three of my capture cards actually. So I'm not sure what we're gonna have to do. So, all right. Thanks everybody. Bevel the card edge, please. Yeah, no, I talked about it, CO. I have the giant file, which is a lot more giant. Where is it? I don't know. It's somewhere. I have a giant file, metal file. But also, Rain made a cool jig. He made a 45-degree 3D print jig that can hold sandpaper, so you can sandpaper that way. So, yeah, I'm planning to bevel it. Yep. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday with the Micro 88 soldering. I'm excited. Micro 8088. I'm excited for that. So.